Hey guys, what's going on? This is Nanners.
And I'm Zero.
We are TooStupidGamerz, and we wanted to talk about the PlayStation announcement that just happened, the PS5 Reveal, with a bunch of info and games and stuff. They made a little announcement, and we wanted to talk to you guys about that.
Yeah, Sony was kind of secretive as to what exactly was going to be shown off. They did say they were going to be showing off a lot of games. We just didn't know which ones were going to be shown off. And boy, did they start with the real hitter. Nanners, do you want to talk about it?
I don't, because I actually didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay, all right. So
I watched most of it, but not all of it.
I get you. So I made sure to... Well, I was watching the whole thing from beginning to end because I really wanted to see what was going to happen. So the first game that was dropped on us was Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, those of you uninitiated, Miles Morales is a newer Spider-Man and from a different universe, or I guess now combined in this universe. They basically started it off with the voice of like the Peter Parker Spider-Man telling Miles Morales, "Oh, go be your own hero," and then you have Miles running through basically New York City during the winter, acting as his own Spider-Man with his own abilities, going invisible, using the electric shock ability that he has for his own Spider-Man version. And that got me extremely excited, especially because, and I'm pretty sure Nanners can agree with me here, the Spider-Man game that came out a year or two ago was freaking fantastic. I'm playing through it right now, and when I saw that announcement, I kind of lost my shit because I said, "Holy crap, this is going to be great."
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't hear. I heard that it was going to be Miles Morales, Spider-Man jumping off of the one that came out before the Amazing Spider-Man. And I mean, they originally said that this was going to be like, what, 3 games or something like that. So I've been waiting for that new announcement just like everybody else.
Now, unfortunately, when we saw the announcement, we said, "All right, this is Spider-Man 2. This is great. This is going to happen." It's not really going to be a Spider-Man 2. It's not really the sequel that we've been waiting for. After the event was done, Sony went out and kind of said it's going to be more of like an extra expansion to the game, which kind of makes sense. Really, because this Miles Morales Spider-Man is coming out this winter, like literally right after the PS5 comes out. This game is gonna drop, and that's not a lot of time to develop a brand new game. I mean, again, the last Spider-Man game came out like almost 2 years ago. So
yeah, it was like 2 years ago, something like that. I mean, so I also want that sequel. I will be 100% honest. I'm definitely a lot more interested in the sequel. But I mean, remember, a lot of the people that played that something city DLC, like they liked it. The DLC that we already had with Catwoman and all that stuff. I think Insomniac's gonna do a good job with it. I would be willing to pick it up. In fact, I didn't play that DLC either, so I could essentially just buy that DLC and this one, and it's almost like I have the amount of content for all, like, you know, maybe a full game, maybe like 10-15 hours or something worth, you know.
No, I completely agree. I mean, I'm just about to finish the original story. I haven't gotten any of the DLC, so if they pack all the DLC with Miles Morales into one package and then release it on the PS5, that's still a pretty damn good deal. All right, so next game they reveal. The next game we want to talk about. We're not going to talk about all the games, obviously. We're going to mainly focus on the ones that kind of interested us. And the next one is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Right.
Did you see that? Did you see that one, Nanners?
I did. I saw. I think this was the point where I actually went into the conference and I started to watch. I was watching our buddy Bulbtastic, so I saw it through him, like, because he was live streaming him reacting to the event.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it looked really good. I was excited because the second I saw a couple of shots, I was like, immediately, even out of context, I immediately knew that it was Ratchet and Clank. Looks good. I've been waiting for another Ratchet and Clank. The last one we had was in 2016, and I vaguely remember them maybe hinting at like it was gonna be part of a bigger series, or they're gonna really do something more going forward. And it's been about 4 years and we haven't heard anything. So absolutely, like 100%, if they make a new Ratchet and Clank game, I'm going to buy it. Obviously, they got busy with Spider-Man, but still, nevertheless, like, I've been waiting for that next Ratchet and Clank game. I now want to go back and play some of the older ones to kind of like, because I've been so like hyped up because of that.
Dude, you and me both. Ratchet and Clank 2016 was so freaking good, and the way they're showing off Rift Apart, a lot of other people said it. This is like a tech demo for the PS5, especially because the PS5 has this extremely fast SSD hard drive in it. So you can basically load new assets and new levels at like the snap of a finger. So you'll see like you'll see like this weird like broken glass field. You push yourself into it and you're in a new level, you're in a new place. And I'm just thinking to myself, holy hell, that's going to be amazing. The new worlds we can explore without having to wait to load the next level or to load the next boss battle or whatever. It's going to happen just like that.
And they were showing that already off with Amazing Spider-Man a while back. Like the differences between loading on PS4 versus loading on if it was running on a PS5. So,
yeah.
There you go.
One thing that they ended the Ratchet and Clank trailer with was that female Lombax. We have not seen, at least to my knowledge, we have not seen that female Lombax yet. And I rewatched that trailer multiple times because I was just so entranced by it. And I'm thinking to myself, now I want to know this new character's name. And upon closer inspection, I realized, hey, she's not even holding like a wrench. She's holding a hammer. And I'm thinking, I think I already know the name of the character just based off of that. I think they probably called her Mallet, mainly because of the weapon she's holding. Kind of like Ratchet was named after wrench and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, that looked good. The character looks good. I'm curious to see, like, obviously they're not going to give us too much of the story, but I'm curious to see what else they're going to do with it. I'm hyped. I'm 100% on board.
Oh, same here. And another thing I think you're going to be pretty hyped for was the LittleBigPlanet Sac Boy's Sac Boy: A Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Another LittleBigPlanet game. Yes. However, I don't think this one's going to work exactly like the previous previous LittleBigPlanet games.
No, it's not. It's not. It obviously looks like, if anything, it looks closer to Dreams, because what they were showing off was like a platformer similar to what we were playing in Dreams when we were playing as the little fox and the little bear. Where you're running in like a free 3D plane as opposed to a 2D plane. I mean, you know what? Maybe that's just the direction that Media Molecule wants to play. Maybe they feel like they have more freedom with that. I'm fine with it. Honestly, I was a little bit disappointed because when I saw Sac Boy, my first thought was, this is great. They're going to give us LittleBigPlanet 4, and hopefully it's going to be done by Media Molecule, not like 3, so it will be amazing. But it ended up being not exactly that. I'm still excited for it. Like, I'll probably get it, and as we find out more, I will make my decision according to that. But I have to admit, I was a little disappointed it was an LBP4. We'll see, though. It's still very early. What they did show off was pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I was also kind of disappointed myself. I saw Sackboy and I said, LittleBigPlanet 4, that's it, we got it, yes, good job. But no, it's more of an adventure game. I still want to try it. It looks like fun. Yeah. And again, anything LittleBigPlanet related, I'm gonna be interested in it. It just looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now let's talk about Project Athia. I don't know if you remember what that was. It was very brief. It's an exclusive game by Square Enix.
I may have stepped away during that point.
I don't blame you. I mean, it looks interesting. It looks fun. You're playing as a female protagonist. She has some sort of superpowers, growing vines out of the ground, jumping over big ravines and whatnot, fighting this big ass dragon or whatnot. It looks interesting, but that's it. We just got that trailer and no more information. So kind of forgettable. I didn't even remember it until I rewatched the event myself.
Yeah. You know what? When I saw that, I thought that there was either that or something else. I thought that they were gonna go back to this previously talked about game. It was like the Invisible Man or something like that. It was a kind of superhero that went in, or no, he wasn't invisible. He was mute or deaf. He was deaf. Because I was pretty sure that Square was making a game like that, but no, it wasn't that. I haven't heard anything about that since. Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of good stuff. I'm glad that they went very games heavy with this announcement, because they could have just done the PS5, but it really felt like they were just gonna do this regardless. Like, this was what they were saving for around E3 time. Of course, not at E3, but this was like their A game in terms of, hey, here's what we got coming out in the future. They also had Resident Evil 8, which was a trailer for Resident Evil 8. I think we already had some info about Resident Evil 8 prior to the press conference, but we did get a pretty vague trailer at first. Then it said Village, and so everybody knew that we were talking about Resident Evil 8. And they also showed off Chris, which was pretty interesting too.
I didn't expect it. I mean, I just like you, I also heard the rumors, and I said to myself, I don't know. They might come out with it, they might not. Then they dropped it in the PS5 event, and it looks good. And it looks like they're also going a little bit past zombies. Like, it's not just zombies anymore. They might have like some other stuff in there.
Yeah. It definitely inspired me to. I think I'm gonna pick up Resident Evil 7 because I never bothered to. Like, I'm just kind of curious to see how all these characters tie in. Where this and 7 are like unrecognizable to the previous Resident Evils, in my opinion. And that's actually very that's fascinating. Like, they don't always got to be the same, but I want to see, like, how do they do it? Like, how do you make this mostly different experience, or somewhat different experience, because I got a different perspective? How do you make it Resident Evil? Like, I want to see that. So I'm definitely excited for that. Another horror game that they showed off was Ghostwire Tokyo.
That's right.
Yeah, and I believe there's going to be co-op in it, or there's suggested that there's going to be co-op or something like that.
It's first person. There might be co-op. That wasn't very clear in the trailer. But the game looked amazing. I mean, you have a very amazing rendition of Tokyo. You're dealing with these weird ghost-like creatures, and it seems like you have some sort of superpower or weaponry that you can use.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's going to be Shinji Mikami's third attempt at a horror after having left Capcom and, you know, his baby Resident Evil behind. So it's definitely interesting to see. He did Shadows of the Damned. That was pretty good. Evil Within, kind of hit or miss depending on who you talk to. And then now we got Ghostwire Tokyo. So I'm excited to see it, like, when it comes out, and I want to know a lot more about it, but I think I'm definitely gonna get it, like, hands down. It's definitely one of the games I'm looking forward to.
It's interesting. Another game that I was actually pretty excited for. Another game I was not expecting. Oddworld Soulstorm.
Right.
We have a new entry to an Oddworld game, and I heard nothing about, like, there was no indication as to us getting a new one, and I'm quite excited. The Oddworld games are very fun, especially when you're playing as Abe. These are side-scrolling platformers with a lot of puzzle elements to it, and this time, once again, you have to save Abe's basically his race from extinction again. But they're not being very clear as to what's going to, end it all this time. Is it going to be like a planet-wide pandemic, maybe a meteor hitting the planet, or are they going to get turned into meat snacks again?
Yeah, that came out of left field, 100%. I was not expecting that, but that's really cool to see. I want them to give us more of these, like, wow, you're bringing that back, or you're doing that, or giving that IP another chance. Like, that's exciting. That's what I watch these for.
Oh yeah, me too. I was really hoping for some of that. I was actually hoping for a new Ape Escape, but we're not gonna get it.
Yeah, a lot of people were.
Let's see. You're gonna remember this, Nanners, because I complained about this when the PlayStation Classic came out. Remember that game, Destruction Derby?
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed off a game that looked a lot like that.
Oh yeah, that was the one that kind of looked like Rocket League, sorta.
It looked like Rocket League. There we go. It's called Destruction AllStars. And I said to myself, there's no freaking way they brought back Destruction Derby. There's no way. The title comes in, and I'm like, it's not Destruction Derby, but it still has the name Destruction in it. What's going on here? It kind of looks like Destruction Derby mixed with Rocket League, like you said, and mixed with Fortnite.
Right.
That's what it kind of looks like.
It had like a heavy, kind of like esports vibe to it.
It really did. I mean, you're driving around these cars, crashing into others, but then the people driving the cars are in these weird outfits, and they're running around and being giddy and happy and jumping. It's all over the place. It's messy. I'm not sure if that's a game I would pick up, but maybe I'd want some more information about it before I even touch it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think overall the press conference was really good. It's definitely been better than, I would say it was definitely better than all of the state of plays combined. Like 100%. My thing though, like I wish that they had given us at least like, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember, but did they have any JRPGs in here? No. I wish that they had like some kind of like at least a JRPG or two, and maybe a small indie game showcase would be nice.
I mean, they did show off some smaller games.
They did show off indie games, but I really miss those like montages where like you get to see several announcements back to back. Nintendo did that recently with their last like really big direct. Then there was also this other direct that's not related to any of the big companies, but it was all indie games. It was called I forget what it's called, but it was just like all these pretty neat indie games. And yeah, I miss those. I wanted to see what cool indie games and JRPGs are coming out for PS5 potentially.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, state of plays have not been that great, but hopefully Sony will start announcing more of those as the PS5 starts gaining more traction and stuff. Let me just mention like 2 or 3 more games really, just to like iron this out. There was this game called Kena Bridge of Spirits. It's that game that's being developed by the animation studio. Kind of looks like a Pixar movie, but made into a game with like this girl wizard saving these like little black spirit creatures and fighting these evil monsters and stuff. It's an action platformer, and I'm all about that. So it looked really interesting. Then you have Stray. Do you remember that one about the cat walking around with a little backpack in that whole robot world? It was a very nondescript trailer. It just shows the cat walking around and just a whole bunch of robots replacing all, where the people should be. It looks interesting. The cat looks adorable. I like animals, so it's another announcement that caught my attention.
Okay. And
then the last one that I'm going to be mentioning, Horizon 2. Holy crap, Horizon 2 looks freaking fantastic. In Horizon 1, you're basically playing as Aloy, the main protagonist of the game, fighting against these huge, ridiculously big dinosaur robot creatures. But now in this new one, it looks like you're not fighting machines anymore. You're now fighting nature itself, and you're going through more areas of the United States instead of focusing on one. It looks very interesting. Everything is looking a little bit. The enemies are looking more tribal, using more. Looks like magic and mixed with nature at this time around. It's looking very interesting. It's looking very exciting. I need to go ahead and finish Horizon 1 before this one comes out. It's another game that I'm looking forward to for the PS5.
Okay.
Anything else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, no, there was one other thing that they did specifically that we've basically all been waiting for, and that was to reveal what the PlayStation 5 actually looks like.
That's right.
So what did you think?
Okay, so let's go back a minute. They finish showing off the games, right? And then they start this weird video with all these orbs and balls just like cascading around each other in this old wibbly wobbly thingy, turning blue, turning dark. And I'm sitting there going, okay, you're showing off your motion graphics skills. That's awesome. Get to the point. What are you doing with this? And then it goes dark, and then it starts splitting, and then you start seeing like that blue like form V coming out. And I'm like, is this it? Is this a console? Holy crap, is this a console? Then they finally show off the console, and I'm sitting there going, that's how it looks like? Like, I lost my shit. I was thinking to myself, whoa. If you had shown me this a month prior, it would have been like, there's no way Sony's going for that design. But they did. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like something they would have done previously. What did you think?
I didn't like it. I'm gonna be completely honest. My first thought was kind of like thinking, how would that look in my room, like next to all of my other consoles? It's just gonna stand out like such a sore thumb.
I agree. It will stand out like a sore thumb, which is why I thought to myself, Sony didn't go with that, did they? It doesn't look like something they would do. But then again, Sony does like to dress up their consoles. They're not gonna throw it out there looking like a VCR or a freaking box.
I think the problem is that we've really hit like they've basically done everything. They've done like simplistic, like PS2 was pretty simplistic, it was very boxy. They've done really like curvy, shiny. I was like the fat PS3. The slimmer PS3s were also pretty shiny. And then they did with PS4, they did kind of like boxy but modern. So it's also like in this weird, it's kind of like it's like a rhombus basically if you look at it from the side. So I mean, I feel like they've done everything, and now they don't want to put out a product that looks exactly the same. But this is so out there. I mean, this looks like this with the controller, and we already knew what the controller looked like, but I think all of this just looks like this weird, and they showed off a bunch of peripherals too, like a headset and other stuff. Did. Altogether, it looks like some weird space age technology that it does look like a router or an air purifier or whatever you want to call it, but it's so goofy. I
wrote that down in my notes. And I remember I thought to myself, this looks like an actual router, just like you said. It's so weird how they went with this strange design. Like, I don't hate it myself. I'm just it's still kind of shocking is what it is.
No, I agree.
Now, one thing that I kept picking up on is the Roman numeral for 5 is the whole like V shape. So I think that played a big role into how they were designing the PS5. It still kind of has like that V shape going from like the two outer points down to the middle. Like, they don't actually meet, but it still kind of looks like a V.
Kind of looks like a champagne glass.
That too. You're not necessarily wrong there. So I think the whole this being the 5th console, I think that's one of the reasons why they designed it that way. Also, if you look closely, though, the areas where the blue light comes through, those are air vents. So I'm thinking another reason why they chose that design is to have 2 air vents going in, helping push air through it to make sure the console is nice and cool. Another thing about the console design is if you look at it and you look at like all the different pictures that are out there, you're going to notice that there are 2 versions of the PS5. There's the PS5 that has a nice little curvy butt on it. That's the CD drive. And then you have the other one that's just slick.
Yeah. They showed that in a presentation. There was the regular version, and they also had the digital only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a digital edition. Now, I did not expect that either. When Microsoft came out with the Xbox Series X SAT edition or digital edition, I said to myself, oh, they're jumping the gun. No one's going to want to buy that. And now Sony's doing it. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, wow. So they're really going to start pushing digital distribution.
I've heard this as like described that this might be the generation that's like an in-between. So they're going to give us options for this time, but by the next time, maybe they don't even want to do discs anymore.
Yeah, it's another cost-cutting measure. I'm kind of worried about that because I like collecting discs. I like having my physical media because at least that way I know if my console blows up or if the service goes offline, disc is there, I can always play the game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad seeing the industry push itself into that direction, forcing us to go digital. Not necessarily forcing us, but like pushing us in that direction.
I got you.
But I guess that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah. But overall, it was a great presentation, and I had a lot of fun watching it. It had like 1 million views on Twitch, concurrent live viewers. So I think this is what a lot of people have been waiting for, and it was worth the wait.
It was pretty worth the wait. I like how Sony handled it. And of course, the community is great too. I mean, have you seen the memes for the PS5?
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen it.
It was hilarious. One of the first ones I saw was taking Seto Kaiba's head from Yu-Gi-Oh, putting it on top of the console, kind of like he had his collar popped up, kind of like this, but from like the anime, because he has that big ass white jacket. The collar popped out like that, and I thought, oh my god, that's hilarious. It's great. And one last thing I wanted to mention about the PS5, it might be huge. Like the console itself doesn't look that big in the video, but people have been comparing the USB sizes and the disk drive sizes to past consoles. And it actually looks like it might be bigger than the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One, the original VCR one, and maybe even bigger than the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, it looks like it's about... I mean, honestly, it doesn't look too bad with this side-by-side shot with the controllers and stuff, but...
It doesn't.
It looks pretty normal size, I would say. But this is all speculation at this point.
It is.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think about the announcement, and let us know in the comments. Did you like the games they showed off? Did you like how the PS5 looks?
Oh yeah, definitely. Let us know which games you're looking forward to. And if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you next time for another awesome video.
Bye, guys.